There we go. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Elementary Unmute and Recharge. Today, we have three great presenters that we're showcasing today. We have Rebecca Valdez, Amy Valdez, and Denise Garcia. They have some great things to show you today. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. Please keep your mic muted. Feel free to ask questions in the chat section, and Valentine and I will be monitoring that and answering those questions. The session number for today is 318-287. If you're not already registered, please register and then sign in with remote check-in code PSJA Tech to make sure you get credit on the PD system. First up today, we have Rebecca Valdez, a CIT and teacher from Anaya Elementary. So I'm going to turn it over to Becky. Becky, do you want to present your slides? I'll give you the.
You can present from there. That's fine. I mean, I have them.
All right. You just tell me when to go to the next.
Sure.
And I will do that.
Okay,
welcome.
Hello, everybody. My presentation is on PSJA. I know that they use it a lot during summer school for the kids as something fun for them to do, but it's actually a good resource for those that are struggling. It gives them like more game time type of things for them to play. And at the same time, they're, getting that reinforcement of the skill that they need that maybe that they're not doing really good on, or something that you're going to introduce to them and you want to see, just how much they know. You can go to the next slide. So it is a website that provides educational games and activities for school-age children. So it's anywhere from pre-K all the way to middle school. Games are organized by grade level from pre-K to 6th grade. Some games are free for students to use in class and from home. So it is a website that there's a free version, and you can't do a lot of stuff, but for what I use it for, it works perfect for me. And sometimes this I also use as like a little reward. Now that we reward them for perfect attendance, for weekly perfect attendance. So instead of giving them, a prize, a candy, or, whatever that little prize is, I'll give them a little bit of time on their iPad to do that PSJA. And they like that. The games, like I said, could be used for reinforcement of a skill being taught in a fun and interactive way. You can incorporate these games into your daily lessons to keep students engaged. Oh, what happened? Sorry. To keep them engaged, you can go to the next slide. The free version includes a wide range of games in the areas of math, science, and English language arts. They don't have a Spanish section, sorry, but they do, have, at least for math, for those that we has to be in English, is very helpful. The free version also includes some printable activities and coloring sheets. So you do have access to some printables that you can use as homework sheets, or that you can use as, an activity lesson for them. You can purchase a membership that will allow you to even have more access to more materials and more games, but it's a membership that it only allows you to have a certain number of people, or whether it's students or from home, using it. It's not unlimited. So if you get yours, then really it's just like you can have like 2 more kids that can use it at that time, where they get the free version where they'll have those games, or you log in as you, and the students are able to go into that other portion where it, instead of having to pay for it, it'll be there. You can go to the next one. The website is PSJA.com, and once you get to the website, you'll have the page, the main page, and it will show you the different grade levels, and you can go to the next one. It gives you to start exploring. You have 3 different ways. It gives you by grade level, where you can click on the little icon for the grade level, or you can go at the top of the tabs and it says Common Core Standards. If there's something specific that you're looking for, you just type in a keyword so that it can search for those lesson activities for you, and you can go in there and view them to see if it's something that's going to be, helpful for your students or not, you can go to the next one. And like I said, you have there whether you go by grade level or you search a specific topic under, reading, math, or science. Or if there's you want to go to the Common Core strands, which if you go to the next one, the next slide, the next one, sorry, it'll give you the grade. You click on the grade and then you can go to the next slide. And you click on the subject that you want. And once you click on the subject, you can go to the next slide. It'll give you like different headings for, what you're looking for specifically, if it's language or if it's something under, reading reinforcement, if it's something under, depending on what you're looking for. And then once you click on those icons or those little boxes, then it takes you to, you can go to the next slide. It takes you to the actual lesson activity and it goes by your TEKS. So if you're looking for something particular, you can go in there and check out that game to see if it's going to be useful for you or for your students. And I know that everybody has a device now. So sometimes if I need that additional reinforcement and the kids are already, with the, iStation or the, the Magic Math, it's just like, okay, it's not working. Let me try something else. And it's in a more, I guess, fun way. And my paraprofessional will have a group with the iPads there and they'll be playing the game. So they can either, depending, sometimes you can do 1 player, 2 players, or you can do up to 4 players. It just depends on what the game is. So if she can do up to 4 players, well, she'll have them all playing at the same time. So they like it. And, the kids are like, when am I going to that group? They want to be in that group. And I'm like, no, you got to wait. But yeah, it's something, just an extra added tool that you can use in your classroom. And like I said, it has a variety of different things. And, but you can click on the web, on the link, and it should take you to ABCI. If I didn't take it off, I don't know. And that's what you see. And then you can just go in there and you can explore. My kids like the seek and find games where they have to do the memory match and, there's some monsters in there. So the numbers, that's good for number recognition for them because they're still learning all of that. It does letters too. It'll tell you capital or lowercase letters, just little things like that. But, the free version, like I said, is limited to certain things, but it's still available if you want to purchase it, but it's more, I guess, interactive, but more game-like. They don't realize that they're actually learning, and my 4-year-olds are just like, everything's game for them. Like they want games. So they like that. And I as a matter of fact, I was doing a rotation and I had a group doing that. And my principal came in and she was just like, what are they working on? What? And I was like, oh, they're getting reinforcement on a lesson that I taught and they're still having a little bit of problems. And she's like, oh my God, they're just so excited. And I said, yeah, they really like that. They look forward to that. So sometimes I use that also as you're going to, you know what? I'm going to give you a pen and paper, pencil. You're going to do it. And everybody else is going to, no. So yeah, it helps me out with my little ones. But yes, it has, a lot of different things. And sometimes like the holiday things, like you can go in there and print out like, little pictures of things for them to color or, if you want them to do that, or even use it as a writing prompt for them. Well, my little ones, they look at the picture, they color the picture and they try to write something about it. So for them, it's, like I said, the little ones like it. The older ones do like it, but I noticed that some of the games for them, I was like, oh my, I go, how do you, like, I have to ask, okay, how are you doing that? Show me, what is it that you're doing? Oh, miss, you have to do this. And then I'm like, okay, that looks really neat. Like that, I was, I'm behind the screen and them, trying to figure out the game. But yeah, and it does give you the instructions too, on how it's going to be played, and the kids can, go back in there and use it from home. So it's something that if they have access to internet, they can have the free version and they can go in there and use it at home. I don't know if there's any questions.
No, I don't
I
see
don't
any
see any
questions.
questions.
But
Okay.
it's definitely like a fun and inviting,
Mhm.
you know, activities for students. I can see them loving that. It's colorful and cheerful and
Yes, the colors they love. There's
motivating.
one where they have to decorate a birthday cake with candles, and it gives them like it tells them, okay, the birthday cake has so many candles, and they have to drag so many candles and make sure, and it pops out, like a little confetti when they get it correct. So it's like, I got it correct, and so it's reinforcing them what they're learning, and for their age, it's something fun
Yeah,
for them.
and I was thinking that it was just like for the pre-KK level, but it does have some
Yeah.
for the, you know, other elementary
All the way
grades
to
as
sixth
well.
grade. And then like if
Yeah,
you have those kids that are already advanced and you want to put them in, another grade level, you can look for things there that would be something compatible to what they're already learning and what they already know. Give them a little bit more of a challenge. So you can do that
perfect.
too.
Yay. Thanks, Becky. If anybody has
Thank you.
questions, just put them in the chat. We can reach out to Becky to get, you know, answers, but we appreciate
Yes.
you sharing with us today. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm sorry that I have to go, but I need to go take my son
It's all good.
to.
You just take care of him.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks, Becky.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Next up, we have another early in the age levels teacher. We have Amy Valdez with us. She's our CAT and teacher from Early Start. And
Yes.
she's going to show you some cool tools from Nearpod. And I like that she had some examples. I've seen the slides a little bit ahead of time. So
Yes.
she has some of her students actually working on Nearpod. So it's pretty cute. So Amy, I'm going to give you the floor.
Okay, let me just get the slides because I didn't have them open.
Okay, you take your time.
Uy.
It's, you know, it's amazing that you can use Nearpod with even the little
Yes,
types. Some people think, oh, they're too young for that, but there's not. There's some
they
activities they can actually do.
they've loved it. They have so much fun with it. Okay, here we go. And let me just get my slide. Here we go. Okay, there, right?
Yes, you're good to
Okay.
go.
Okay, so yes, Nearpod helps educators make lessons more interactive. And I love how it can be live or just like student guided whenever they have time or however long they want to take. Um, and some activities that I have used in the classroom are Time to Climb, the matching pairs, the Draw It, and the Nearpod 3D, which I thought was pretty cool. Um, so Time to Climb, I've used it with math and with letters, but I did get to have the students use video or record them using the math one that I created, which just was about shapes. We were just reviewing our shapes, and it does give you the score, and it kind of lets you know who got which one wrong, or kind of maybe, oh, they don't know this shape, or kind of gives you a little idea on like what shape it is that they are missing. Oh, I click slideshow. And I did have a video, but let me see. For them using it's not that one. It was this one then. For them using the math one. So I said right there, she got it wrong.
We don't have sound, Amy, but if that's
Oh,
okay, if you just want to see, it's up to you. If you want us to hear
let me
sound, you
see.
could reshare with the sound.
Let me stop sharing and then I'll reshare with the sound. Oh, share, include sound. There we go. And I'll replay it.
Pick the triangle. Triangle.
Pick them. And I had to cut it short because it was a long video and it didn't let me put that much time. But to like do my email. But they were very excited. So they always love playing the time to climb. They love seeing the little character move up and down. And you can see they were very happy to be using it. And then I have also used the matching pairs. And I showed a little clip of a student matching the uppercase with lowercase letters. And here it is. Wait.
E is easy. Right there. O is easy. I is easy.
Yay!
Got it?
Huh? Yes, you got it.
Amy, I love this.
Yeah, so they have so much fun when like the few times that I get to do it and really like have them use it, they really enjoy it. I think it's always fun. They look forward to it. And then we have used the 3D, especially this week that we were learning about insects. And so they loved seeing and being able to see the whole insect, right? Seeing the legs, because sometimes I'll show pictures and it's just like, well, on the book and you can only see 3 legs or. So this one they actually got to move around and see, oh, you know what? It does have 6 legs, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. And so I made a little slide on the few, and I know it doesn't allow us to put that many images, but there are some insects in there that I got to show them with the 3D. And then another one that we've used is the Draw It, and I love
Oh
the Draw
my
It
God.
because it gives me their actual drawings. So we were learning letter G and letter L last week. En español, la letra G, right? So me dibujaron el gato. This one's supposed to be a gato too. And then this is a galleta for letter G. And then in English, it was letter L, and I got a lettuce, and he tried spelling lettuce.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, so these are like some of the few ways we can use it, right, in pre-K. I know sometimes we kind of tend to, and I said 10 because at the beginning I was like, I don't know if they're gonna be able to do this. But once we practice it and we start having them use it and getting like used to the program, to the app, then they'll start like getting it and they'll want to. So I think Draw It for me is one of my favorites just because it lets me kind of keep the little drawings, and it shows me what they really know, right? And they love playing with the whole markers and the colors. So it's really fun, it kind of takes it away from just being in the paper and pencil and just black and white, and it gives them the color and it gives them the activity, the ability to mess around with it, and also the eraser. It's something that they really enjoy. So that's how I've been using some of Nearpod activities in our classroom.
Thank you for sharing, Amy. And it just shows that even like starting at age 3 all the way up to, our adult learners can use
Yes.
Nearpod.
That made me so
And-
proud.
Yeah. And it took a little time, like you're saying, to get them used to doing it and trying
Yes.
it. But we saw the joy in their faces.
Yes,
in the
they get so
video you
excited when
showed.
they win. But I
Yeah,
have
and they
to
were
tell-
learning and
I have
having
to make
fun.
sure I tell them that everybody wins, because then they get upset if they don't see the little monito on the top. I'm like, everybody won, everybody won.
You know that,
But
yeah.
that you can share these with your teachers so they don't have to
Yes.
recreate them.
In the classroom, right? In the school library.
You can put them in the school library, or you
Yeah.
can just share and they will make a copy. Like you can put share with
Yes.
teacher. So maybe that's something that we can talk with the specialists, because if they can create these and put them in the district library, that will be awesome for the teachers to get access to it. I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
Super, super proud of you.
Yes, it was fun and I enjoy it, and they're super easy to make.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, it's something quick, right? It's Friday. You know what? Let's do a game or something.
Well,
So
you can even have it as a barcode in the
Yes.
centers. So and
Yes.
like
and they like doing the little QR codes. I know for the Flip Fridays, we get our
Uh-huh.
little codes and they'll scan it. So I'm like, okay, but yeah, like when we have time, we'll it's something that we liked that I've seen that they liked. So yeah,
Well, thank you for
Awesome.
sharing.
Did you show Ms. Mancias?
not yet. I
You
haven't
you
shown her
need
these
to.
videos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need to.
I will. I will.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have another one of our CITs and CLL, Denise Garcia. So Denise is going to show you today how you can use Chat GPT. Who can use it? How you can use it? One of those newer AI tools. So Denise,
Thank
take it
you.
away.
Thank you. Thank you. I can't beat Miss Amy. That was wonderful. I mean, I'm going to like this recording, I have to copy it and send it to my pre-K and kinder teachers because I loved it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right, so let me get started. So I am going to go over ChatGPT, which is our AI powered tool that specifically towards educators, right? It does help anybody that has some questions or needs something solved or needs some ideas, but specifically obviously for our educators. So it does provide us with those quick answers, explanations, suggestions on those teaching strategies, resources, lesson planning, assessments, professional development, and save you time and offering you new perspectives on it. So who can ChatGPT help? It can help literally everybody. Like I just said, we have our teachers, librarians, administration, believe it or not, counselors, basically everybody. So I'm going to show you a few different things that I've used it for, as well as getting you ideas of prompts. Because I think that's where we get stuck the most on, where we have like, I want to use it, but what can it do? And it literally does everything. But to think of these prompts is a little like, can I ask that? But you can. So how? What can it do? So to begin, it saves you a lot of time. I don't know how many times that I've spent like drilling my head for like last year or the year before, where this year it's like a quick fix for me, offering you new perspective. This one is major for me. I use it a lot because I know what I'm thinking and I know how to say it or how to type it or how to present it. But then I'm like, you know what? Let me ask ChatGPT because it's going to give me a different perspective or a different answer, or it'll be like agreeing with me, like, okay, yes, I said it right, or I was meaning that. That's correct. And as well as supporting your professional development. Of course, we're never stop learning. ChatGPT has taught me so much and to think outside the box and to find different question solutions and to view things differently. So, for example, what is ChatGPT? Well, you're basically chatting with somebody with AI, right? And this made me think of like the early 2000s, when we had chat rooms. I know I was young, but we had chat rooms. I don't know if y'all remember the chat rooms, where you had chat rooms for cooking, chat rooms for whatever it is that you were interested in, right? This is basically a chat room, but it's now even better because it has artificial intelligence. So those answers are more precise as to it would be if somebody else was giving you answers or suggestions to it. So that's kind of how I explain it. You're basically in a chat room where you ask whatever you want, and you're going to get a solution or an answer to it. So what are some things that you could ask in ChatGPT to help with your instruction? One of the things are lesson ideas. So have you ever been stuck on how can I teach a concept, or you taught the concept, but not all the kids understood? Is there another way for me to teach it? So this is one of the questions that I asked. And what I learned is obviously you have to be very, very specific. And if not, and it's happened to me where I'm in a hurry and I'm not specific, I end up having to ask like 3 questions after it, which is okay, right? You ask the questions after it. But if you only want like you're quick and you want one response and you're good to go with those response, then be very specific. So for this one, I just asked an engaging lesson for poetry elements for kinder students. And it gives you everything, your objectives, your materials, how you're going to introduce and hook, and then each part of your lesson with a closure. if you are following your fundamental 5, right, you want a closure to make sure those students did attain that objective. So it also includes that in here. And there's a variety of lessons, but if you're stuck on something and you're like, you know what, I taught area, but I want something more. What can I do maybe with real world things or scenarios? So you can type that. An engaging lesson about area using real world materials, and then something will come up. Another thing that I've been using it for a lot is to create writing prompts for ECRs or SCRs. So I've always been stuck on those, on what question do I ask from this story? So here I said, create a prompt like this one. So I used one that was already created. Explain some ways humans benefit from allowing robots to complete simple tasks at home and in the workplace. I believe that was a 7th grade STAR ECR from last year. So then I copied and pasted the story from the PDF. So you can copy it completely on a PDF. It can include the page number, and it can include the paragraph number. It can include, those things don't matter. It will still get the gist of what your story or passage is. And then it did that. It gave me one, and then I did another one. And for this one in specific, all my ECRs and SCRs, I've kept them in one chat. So that way I'm not having to re-ask the question. I copy and paste, and it automatically comes up with a writing prompt for me. And if I don't like it, I just click like the next one, or can you try again? Or maybe something a little more specific, or something having to do with character traits. So then it'll redo the prompt for me. So this one has been major. Another one is quotes. I know it's something that you're like, what quotes? Why would you need ChatGPT for that? Es que se me cierra la cabeza sometimes, okay? Sometimes I'm stuck on like finding a way to add a quote to an email or like a professional development presentation where I'll add like the importance of like collaboration or professional development. And I'm like, how do I put that into words? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to think about it. I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm just going to ask it. So I did. I write a small quote about how intentional planning and data analysis can drive student achievement for teachers' motivation. And it did. It gave me one. And then I said, you know what? I like it, but let me try something else. And I put another one about student engagement, motivation, intentional planning. And if you can see, I like sometimes don't even spell it correctly. I don't even like ask please, or I don't even say, can you do this? I just type what comes to my mind. And most of the time, like I think 99.9%, it'll reply with like a correct answer or something that I like. So this one has been good. This one has helped my principal because we've done like agendas and stuff. And sometimes we put like a quote that relates to what we're talking about in the meeting, and we'll use it. We've also used it having to put for, I think it was the board members were coming over, and she was like, I need to start with the speech, but I don't know how to start. And I'm like, I got you, girl. We're gonna go to ChatGPT. And then I asked like, how can I start a speech for the superintendent coming, for, or for the board members coming, and it helped her out as well. So just things that you're like, you get stuck on like, I don't know what to write, parent letters, any of that stuff that you're like, really, you can use ChatGPT for that. Yes, you can. I know I talk really fast. I have to breathe. Remind me to breathe, Valentin, please. Debbie, remind me.
Remind you to what?
To breathe. Because I go at 1,000 miles per hour when I get excited.
I love that you're getting excited though.
I do, because it's been, ChatGPT has been amazing. This one I was like, okay, star STEM questions. Last year, I did not have ChatGPT, and last year I had that my binder, and I was going through the questions, the star STEM questions. I would go into my passage, and I'm there like, how does it relate to this, and what can I write? And it takes a long time. I know when we wanted to do like a story that wasn't in the curriculum, it was always like, oh, but then I have to create the test on Friday, and it has to be star STEM questions for the upper grades, right? And even for like second or first. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it, but it's gonna take me forever. Now it doesn't. So for one of them, it was crea una pregunta de medio nivel. I put like in the middle. Lee las oraciones blank ¿Qué puede inferir el lector acerca de blank with a question mark? So it did that. It did that for me. ¿Qué puede inferir el lector acerca de la relación entre Patricia y Armando a partir de sus interacciones en la granja lechera? And this was, again, I put the story, I copied it from the passage, I pasted it on here, and then I asked the question. So I was in shock the first time I did this because I was like, "Ah, me va a contestar en español. Ah, no creo. I don't think it is," but it does. It does type it back to you in Spanish. So I was like in awe where I'm like not there having to translate or having to like, like it really helps you. It saves a lot of time. I did one for math as well. I wanted to go over it was conversions, and I had a problem from the star, but I couldn't use that one because it was going to be like on the test or something like that on the benchmark. And I was like, you know what? That's okay because I can create one that's like it. But I'm like, oh, también se me cierra la cabeza. I'm like, let me go to ChatGPT. So I put that, create a problem exactly like this one, but with different numbers and give me answer choices as well. So it did. And then I was like, ¿y ahora cuál es la respuesta? And I'm there, I am going to have to solve it. And then I put, what is the answer? And then it's like, well, let's start with adding and then subtracting. And I'm like, it solved it for me. So that was a big, like, eye opener for me because it helped so much. It saved so much time. And then another one for me was finding a hook. We had a story, a passage, and we want to make it exciting, especially during start time, because we have these kids that get the passage and they're like, ugh, another passage, right? But if we have a hook and we start with our hook, our vocabulary, our VR, maybe something like that. But this one was about like two brothers and they're fighting over an instrument or something like that. And we're like, what can we use as a hook? We can do a VR of like what? Like we couldn't think of anything. We were stuck. So I'm like, you know what? Let's ask ChatGPT. Maybe it's gonna come up with something. So I put what could be a good hook to use for students in a PowerPoint to get them engaged in a passage before reading it. A video or picture or what? And you notice like my questions, some of them are super like they're not even like professional. I'm just like typing as I'm thinking, but it still answers it. So it's before reading the passage about Monica and Jorge, you could use a visual hook to spark their curiosity and interest. Consider using a compelling image or artwork related to art and music, showcasing a blend of different artistic expressions. So we did. We like went to Google and we're like, okay, let's try to look for something, and it worked. So that was also one of the uses for ChatGPT. Now, there are some important tools that I want to go over because not everybody knows this. So when you get a response, you have these four at the bottom. You have the first one is a read aloud response. It can read to you the response it's giving you. The second one was super crucial to me. It was copy response, because what I was doing before I realized that this was there, I was copying it, like, hovering over it, shading it, and then clicking right click, copy. And then when I would paste it, it would come out in like text boxes. So it was like super hard to move around until I realized that it has a whole copy response and it just copies the text without adding like those text boxes. So that was an eye opener for me as well. Regenerate response. I sometimes use this one and it won't delete the response that was previous to it. It will have you like, it has like an arrow at the bottom and it'll give you like response 1, response 2. If you do it again, response 3. So you'll have all of them there so you can still choose from them. And then the other one is dislike response. So if you don't like what it said, you'll dislike it and it'll try something else and then we'll take it off. And then the next one, it's happened to me where I type something and then I'm like, okay, I wasn't specific enough. Let me go back and let me edit my question, because let's say I wanted like in 30 words and it gave me like 6 paragraphs. And I'm like, hold on, like I need it in a summary in 30 words, something quick. So then if you edit your question, you can fix it and then press enter again and it'll regenerate that question for you without having to type it all over again. You just edit it. And then if you are logged in, your questions or responses, save. So you can always go back to the chat and pick up where you left off to extend your question. Specifically, I use this for like my ECRs, SCRs, and my star STEM questions. I keep those in like one chat and I go back to it Because I'm like, okay, new story. Here it is. Like I needed to start with explain this. And then it'll do it for me. And it's all in one chat. So I don't have to like keep writing it and then keep adding more chats. They are on the left side when you log into ChatGPT and it'll start saving. And then the last thing, I gave a lot of ideas, but I'm like, just in case if somebody wants to just, read about it or wants to see more prompts or what you can use it for, I linked it onto the PowerPoint here, and it has a lot of things, like what it is for, what you can use it for, and then this is what I liked. It had prompts. So if you need an icebreaker introduction, give me an icebreaker activity for the first day of class. Behavior and discipline, time management, classroom organization, communication with parents, and it keeps going. All the prompts that you could use, it has a lot of them. So I found this interesting in case that you wanted to get more prompts from it, then you can. And is that it? That's it. Let me stop sharing. Any questions? I know I went 100 miles per hour. I get all excited. I'm sorry.
No, it was so good because, we're just learning more and more about AI. And I love the examples you gave of, how you can use it. And, even like you're refining as you go, like how to ask and how to get the results that you want.
Yes, it's helped so much. So much.
Yes. And I did put the slides in the chat here, so anybody can go in and, click on those links.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. If anybody has any questions, let us know. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just so we can